Hi friends, welcome. Today, me and this plant and this ball, it's like a desk toy, it spins. It's quite fun. It spins for a long time. It might spin until the end of this video. It might spin until the beginning of the next video. We'll see. And this Starbucks certified barista pen, which I got during my time at Starbucks, just reminds me of the lessons I learned there. We, all of us, are going to talk about some minimalistic street photos and how one could go about creating such a photo. First, I want to look at this one. And this one's interesting because it's sort of on the fringe of minimalism. I'm not sure if we could actually define this as a minimalistic street photo, but it's certainly well organized and it leans into a simple feel. You know, it's interesting to have the conversation. Is this minimalistic? We'll get into some more photos that are more clearly minimalistic. This one is quite organized though, and we can talk about why it's organized. One of the things that makes it organized is the lack of a color palette. It is black and white, and if you want your photo to feel more organized, less cluttered, more perhaps minimalistic if you want to go to that extreme, cutting out color is a great way to do that. Also, the scene is very nicely broken up into shapes. We have the horizon line right down the middle. A lot of times you may want to put your horizon line on the bottom third or the top third, but sometimes, oh, it's a great idea to put it directly in the middle of the frame. Also, we have the balance of the photo. On the left-hand side, is this right for you? It's probably right for you guys. On the left-hand side, we have the lamp, and then on the right-hand side, we have the person. We have the person also holding an umbrella, which can help out any good photo of a person on the street, especially if you're looking at their back. It adds some intrigue to the figure. In this case, it actually looks like a hat, which I think is quite fun. But we have some nice buildings in the background as well, kind of foggy buildings. Makes them feel quite far away and adds some atmosphere. And then we have a clear division between the foreground and the background, and it's broken up by a straight line here. This little area where one can walk, and then the water, right? And then we have these nice bricks in the foreground. I love how uncluttered this scene is. I feel like a lot of places in America, at least, I don't think this photo was taken in America. A lot of places in America, at least, there would be a railing here because one person decided to fall in and they didn't know how to swim. So there'd be a railing and then a sign that says don't swim. In this case, we don't have that and it makes the photo feel quite lovely. So let's move on to this next photo. Here we have color. We have introduced color to the scene, but the color palette is quite simple. We have an orange color, we have it's kind of a grayish color, and then we have a blue color of the sky up at the top. Nice little pocket of blue, and then a nice little pinch of green on top of this palm tree here. And the tree acts as a nice cherry on top to the photo as well, I think. But then we have the person, the subject, walking through, and the light is also quite wonderful. Coming in from the right-hand side of the frame, hitting the building, creates a sense of depth, but also has this nice light streak down the side of this wall here, and it's hitting the front of the person, which is good. This photo feels extremely organized, and the more organized a photo is in terms of color and shape and other things, which I'm sure we'll get to, the more it's going to lean into the realm of feeling minimalistic. Now this one, I would say, is a truly minimalistic photo. Now one of the things, this is one of those other things that I was talking about. One of the things that will make a photo quickly feel more minimalistic is if you cut out detail and context from the image. In this case, we have silhouettes. In the foreground, the subject and all the secondary elements, those are silhouetted. There's very little detail, and that's a great way to do it. Also, we can see that we're either pointing up on the people or we are on the same level as them and the background is just really clean. A lot of times if you're on the same level, you're gonna get some buildings or some benches or some trees in the background. In this case, I don't know, but it looks like they may have pointed up. Fantastic shot. I love this nice romantic scene between these two people. We have a lamppost, which is just, you know, when I think of romance, I think of futuristic, weird Art Deco lampposts. And the tree going up the middle. Splits the scene perfectly in half. Quite fun. Like a river breaking up love from light. I love the color palette in this one. We have red and blue. And that's it. Just red, blue, and black. which is, you know, we'll just consider that the lack of any color for our purposes, which I think that's kind of what it is. But you know, scientifically, is it the lack of color? I guess if it is truly black, then it's the lack of color and light. I don't know. We'll have to ask Elon about that. We have sort of an inverse of what a lot of photos are, where the subject, you know, traditionally the subject would probably be closer, and then we'd have a background, and the background would be oftentimes very clearly separated from the subject. We have the person in the background that is the subject, and then we have the rest of the scene in the foreground, or starting in the foreground from the top and then moving to the background. So I just think it's interesting the way that the photo is structured kind of backwards. And then we have this person in a nice blue pocket of light, and once again, basically a silhouette. This one, I think we're pointing up again. I think. That's my guess. Like, it seems like this is a bridge, maybe a suspension bridge, and we're down low and we're shooting up. And the people are going by on the bicycles. The sky is often a pretty simple background. You're gonna have some fun pastels going on a lot of times, depending on what time, you know, day you're shooting. You can get some clouds and stuff, but overall, the sky is not going to tend to clutter up your scene all that much. And this is a great example of that. Once again, silhouettes, lack of detail silhouettes. And the more a photo can feel like a painting or an illustration, the more you are probably on the right track to creating something that feels minimalistic. This one is interesting as well. We have a simple color palette, we have simple shapes, we have a lot of organization to the geometry of things, and we have a clear defined subject in the foreground. You know, there's something about the way that colors are so neatly broken up that I think helps these photos work out as well, where there's a clear streak of blue, a clear streak of orange, and a couple of clear, you know, boxes of white. I guess this would be a box too up top. I think that helps out as well. The clear division of components of the scene. And this one is a great example of a couple of the things we've been talking about. Not all of them, because I guess it's not black and white, there is color, but there's a simplicity in the color. There's really only one color here, and that's yellow. We have a silhouette, once again. We just have some legs. We have a lot of detail cut out of the frame, a lot of context cut out of the frame. And then we have the shadow of the person. The scene feels very organized, feels very contextless, separate from the normal reality that we experience, and uncluttered and cool. Yeah, every stripe was a different color. If there was some stuff over here, you know, right? Oh, and by the way, I mean, pretty cool that they flipped the scene over. It's fun. If there was a lot more going on, then this would quickly move away from the realm of minimalism. But because it's so simple, just simple shapes, simple geometric shapes, once again, something that could easily be a design, an illustration. That's what we have here. So that's it. I hope that you found this interesting and helpful. I'm sure there are things I missed. I just wanted to fly through these and talk about them, and just kind of hit them with the right hook on my, you know, Scrappy. Is the ball still? Oh, it stopped. Thank you guys for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Goodbye.